What's up, Facebook, YouTube folks? I will wait for you all to join. Hey, Trayson, how are you? Hello, 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 TikTok people. It's been a minute, couple of days, had a lot going on. So glad to be here. Waiting for folks to get on in here. What's up, Antoinette? Gwenola Child, Facebook and YouTube. Remember that you have to speak, or I won't be able to see that you have joined. What's up, Missionary? How is everybody? Hey, Yolanda. Everybody's doing okay. What's up, Bertha? Hey, Jiffle. How are you? What's up, Kelly Blue Skies? How are you? Candy Red, Auntie Tinker, Penny GF. Hey, Conchita. What's up, Grammy? Hello, hello. What's up, Go Bowling? Good to see you as well. Hey, Red Hot. Good to see you. How is everyone? What's up, Wham Bam Boom? Haven't seen you in a minute. Hey, Kimber, Mary Shaw. Good to see you as well. Yep. Good to see you as well. Good to see you. Hey, what's up, Facebook? So if you're Facebook and YouTube, remember that you have to speak because I can't see when you join. You have to actually chat for me to see you. What's up, Becky? What's up, Yuri? How are you? Hey, Mandarific, Lavonda, Alex. Good to see you. What's up, Jaya, Sarah? What's up, DJ Spicy? What's up? It's really bad. Mary Shaw, they are going. What's up, Winn Dixie? Good to see you. Hey, Farah, good to see you. What's up, Brittany, Katrina, VJ, Blue Nevada, how are you? Hey, everybody. What's up, Dusty? Let me just say this. I am perfectly aware that energy drinks are bad for you. I'm drinking one anyway. Don't lecture me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, Lori, I'm good. I am just tired. Amanda, this looks interesting. Yeah, I guess. Hey, Deborah Richards, got to see you. Put a smile on your face. Yay, I'm glad, Cheryl. Good to see you. The upside down world is for real. Yeah, this is where we are. We are definitely in the upside down world. What's up, Gemini? How are you? Hey, Patrice. What's up, Evelyn? Yeah, Yolanda, I haven't been on for a couple of days. We've just had a lot going on. What's up, Indigo Spirit? When I say a lot, I mean a lot. In the last couple of days, we've had a passing in the family. We are waiting any minute now for my aunt to pass. They gave her 24 hours, I think, yesterday morning. So we're just kind of waiting for that as well. And then the kids are out on a snow day, and there's just a lot. Life is life is always lifing with me, but life is lifing to a different degree right now. So thanks, Becky. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, David. So just a lot going on. Appreciate you guys. So here's the thing, right? Y'all know me. I just good to see you too. Thanks, Astrid. All right, life is just lifing, and as life is lifing, right? Thanks, Indigo. I appreciate it. As life is lifing, like my aunt that's passing, I'm not close to her. I am, however, very, very close to my uncle, her husband, right? And so you guys have heard me talk about my uncle that that we've had these moments together where we've been talking about accents and race and different things like that. And he's the guy that gets it. And he's like 84. So he and I are like this. And it is his wife. And so that's the part that is just kind of like very, not that I wish her bad or anything. I don't. It's just that the connection for me is with him. And so concern for him. What's up, Rebel? Hey, Brianna. So, life is just, it is lifing. And that's okay. You know what I mean? That's okay. I think for me, what was great, what was very helpful for me was yesterday I had therapy, which was really, really was a good thing for me. Good timing. What's up, Ro? Good to see you. What's up, Hudson's grandma? So, we're just here kind of doing the things. So I do want to talk. And let me say this. I know that there are different strokes for different folks on how we are going to handle things, right? Yeah, right, Brianna. What's up, Candy Kiss? Hey, Sherry. So, what's up, New York State? Good to see you. So, listen, how can I say this? So, I placed a phone call today to one of my two senators who is very, very Republican, and I mean he's one of the good old boys, right? And sometimes I feel sorry for the people who have to answer the phone when they're talking to me, because it's when you're an intern who answers the phone and you get me on the phone, I think you're just like praying for it to end and for it to be over, and And so I said, listen, I said, I just have like a couple of things. So just go ahead and make some bullet points because these are a few of the things that I would like for him to address. What's up, Doug? And hey, what's up, Tootie? Good to see you. Right. It's great training. Right. Coolest mom ever. Yeah, definitely. And so hey, what's up, Masani? Yeah, good to see you too. Hey, Blue Honey Pot. They know your name. Well, here's the thing, right? So like I have hesitated. Um, because I think here's part of the thing. So I have hesitated to really come out of the woodworks where I am because I like to keep where I am private. And I know what it's like to be targeted by the folks who disagree with you. Okay. So, what's up, Tony Key? Good to see you. And so, he asked for my address, and I said, "How about I don't give you that? Would you like my zip code?" And I said, "I just don't want to give it to you. Like, I just like I'll give you my zip code. I'll tell you what's." He was like, "Can you just tell me the city and state you're in?" I said, "Sure, I could do that." And so I did that. Um, yeah, Teresa, tell everybody I said hey. Yeah. I listen, I don't wish I was there for the snow, but it would be good to see you guys. What's up, Donoski? Hey, Linda, what's up, T? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for popping in. Good afternoon, Tony Key. So let me just say this. I've thought a bit about what I want to talk about today because I do feel like if you see the image that's on the screen, we are definitely in the upside down world. You know, I'm watching people. This is very, very yeah, Tori, I'm good. It's just let me just be really, really transparent with you guys. When I get a lot on me, especially when I get a lot on me like energetically and emotionally, like just picking up everybody's shit, you know. I have to take real deep breaths. So, like yesterday, shout out to my niece because she was holding me down. Like I had my sage going yesterday, but I was like, I'm out of sandalwood. Do you have any sandalwood incense? And so she braved the extreme cold weather yesterday to bring me some sandalwood incense, which I really appreciate. And then, God love her heart, she went to the grocery store and brought me some butter pecan ice cream. So you know, like you know, she held me down with that. Um, and I'm in this beautiful place between, right, I love that too. But I'm in this really beautiful place between like ready just to like go balls to the wall and like revolt, and this place where I am determined to find joy. I'm determined to keep my peace. I am determined to not let this shake me to my core. Right? Things that I have found out, right, is that, um, you know, a lot of the things that they are attempting to do now, they attempted to do the first time around. So if you're in education, you probably knew that that in the first administration they introduced a bill to dismantle the federal Department of Education. Did you all know that they did that in 2017? Thanks, Jen Penn. Did you all know that they did that in yes, Stephen. Yeah, see, so I did not because so think about this, 2017, Bella was born. Bella was born 2017. 2018, I was wrapped up in the ballot health protester. Yeah, I found an article yesterday on it on NPR, right? Yes, baby. Can you have what? Yeah, you can have a snack. Some ice cream. Can you wait until I get done? Because like I can't move everything to get it done right now, but you can get a different snack for now. And so yeah, so I found the article on it yesterday. So did you all know that they introduced a bill in 2017? Some what? I don't care. Ask your brother if he'll warm it up for you. Yeah, I know, Peculiar Eve. So yeah, Cheryl, I knew that you would know, right? As soon as I read it, I was like, Cheryl would have known that this happened in 2017. But this is what I'm saying. Okay, so let me just say this. I didn't know that it was a thing in 2017, and I still managed to survive 2017 and 2018 and the first administration, not knowing that this was a thing that they were threatening to do. Why am I saying that? Because I think right now we want to know every little single thing that they are threatening to do or attempting to do or trying to make happen. and I think that we forget that we will be okay, not knowing absolutely everything. And if you try to know absolutely everything, um, is it different? I don't know. I know that they have the majority this time, Brianna, but I don't know that that means that they have the votes. You see what I'm saying? Yes, they have the majority. I don't know that that means they have the votes. Okay. So I think that there's a difference between those two things. Okay. What's up, Sean? So I think first, I think here, baby, I opened it for you. Um, so right. So I want us to remember that, yes, you do want to know what's happening. And at the same time, we are going to survive this. Yes, love. No, I just started. Why? Okay. To say what? Oh, just shut the door and I'll talk softer. Yeah, you're good. Right. There are Republicans that want public education to succeed. You're welcome, baby. Yes. And there are Republicans who know better than I really do believe than to, thanks guys. Everybody likes my little Stranger Things background. I did that today myself. And then I picked some of the little faces to put on here because we are in the upside down world, right? And so Carol, to your point, Carol is saying, for those of you guys who can't see TikTok, Carol is saying, that she would feel better if there were Republicans that stood up to them. And I feel the same way. And so one of the things that I am wanting to be more and more vocal about is hey, you took an oath to the Constitution, not to the Republican Party. We have exceeded party line votes. We are far past what we need to do, as a party. We are far past that. And I think that people. Right. Or, well, and Amanda, I think some of them are, right? Yeah, thanks, Mary, Esther. And so, yeah, I do. I have, it depends on what type of history you're looking for, Morty, but there's a lot. So, yeah, there's a lot of people. So let me just say this. Did you all see that Senator Blumenthal gave an interview yesterday where he said that he regretted confirming the guy for the VA? Did you all see that? And there was a statement that was made that they said, there was a statement that was made where they said, yes, baby. Yeah, if there is enough, and if there's not, I can get some more. Okay. Okay, so just do the one that you have. Thank you, guys. But they were saying, so this is my thing, Blue Honey Pot. So they were saying that going into this, Democrats were going to look for any ways where they could work with Trump if it meant something good. And here's the part about that pisses me off. There's absolutely nothing that he intends to do that is good that I'm aware of. And I think that this is the difference between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, because when Barack Obama was elected, right, they said flat out, listen, our goal is to make sure he's a one-term president. We ain't agreeing with shit. And I feel like Democrats need to grow the same bone. They need to be 10 toes down. They need to be all about that life as well, saying, I'm not doing shit that y'all want to do. Nothing. I'm tired of people saying, hey, Amy, what's up, Carla? People saying, oh, well, we need to come together. No, we don't. I do not want to hear, you're not going to piss on my cornflakes and tell me it's milk. I'm just not doing it. I'm not interested in it. When you say we need to come together and cooperate, here's the thing. We would need to come together if I was asking for something extreme. I'm not asking for anything extreme, right? So if you want to come together, that means you need to come back from the damn deep end where you have ventured off to. That's what that means. If you want to come together, I am waiting. I am at the line of reasonable. I am at the line of constitutional. I am at the line of a democratic constitutional republic, right? That's where I'm at. That's the line where I stand at. So if you would like to come together, then come meet me at that line. Because other than that, I am not co-signing, endorsing, or whatever, anything that you have to say, right? That's it. Mimi, Titan doesn't want you to do that, right? And I think that these are the things that that have to be said. Now, having said that, when I called my little Republican senator's office today, I kind of went down the list, and of course, I started with Kash Patel. Second, I went to the Department of Education. Right. Third, I went to DEI and initiatives. And in all those different things, I went to the VA. After that, I had just listed several different things, and I said, and just for the record, I fall into several of these categories that I'm talking to you about. Right. So I'm a woman. I'm a disabled veteran. I am a woman of color. Right. I am all of those things. And so just understand that when I say these things, I'm speaking about them from a specific place. Yes. And so I think it's important that all of us do that. So one of the things that I have determined that I'm going to do is to start finding local spaces where I can get people's signatures, like old school, knock on the door, let's have a conversation. I want to talk about things and see what you agree with and what you don't. And then I want to be able to take that information specifically to my legislators so that they understand how the people in their community, in their backyard feel. And I think that that's an important thing that we can all do. Now, having said that, I'm going to go somewhere today in this conversation that maybe some people don't feel like, or maybe you would rather hear about every single thing that they are attempting to do, right? When you call, do you talk to the actual rep, or is it? Yeah. So no, you oftentimes will not get to talk to an actual rep. They will sometimes call you back, especially at the state level, Brianna. But this was an intern, and God bless his heart. He was trying to, I was asking the senator's position on a couple of issues. And he was like, well, we don't really comment on the senator's position. I said, so wait a minute. So you can't tell me as a constituent where my elected official stands on a certain issue? And then he said, well, let me just say, he was like, I'm an intern and I don't really know. And I said, well, let me just say this. It would be good as an intern if you actually knew the positions of the person whose office you're working in, right? That's what you, where are you at, Tori? Right? And so, yeah. So, you should know those things if you're going to work in that office and you're going to be an intern and those types of things. And I said, let me just say this: you're in South Carolina. I am close by. I'm close by. So, my thing is simply this: you took an oath to the Constitution, and I expect for you to uphold that oath. And we're going to have to start talking about what that oath means, because it's not to the Republican Party. It's not to Donald Trump. It's not to a particular group of people. It is to the Constitution. And what I see happening right now is very unconstitutional. You know what I mean? And so I want us to have those conversations. All right, Linda, no worries. So let me also, it should be part of the job description, right, Lori? But bless his heart, he didn't know. And I said, well, do I need to call DC? Do I need to call the DC branch? Is that what I need to do? I started with you because you're my local district office. And he was like, I mean, well, you're welcome to, but there's probably going to be an intern that answers them. I said, now the last time I called the DC office, they didn't know what to do with me. And they put this chief of staff on the phone. So today I wanted to be less confrontational. Yes, babe. Of course you can. And so I think that this is the place where I'm landing right now. One is dedicated to self-care, finding and keeping my peace. And at the same time, right. So polite, Jim Penn. And at the same time, doing the things that need to be done. Hey, see, yeah, yes, the chief of staff. Well, because here was the thing, the person didn't want to give me the information that I asked for. And I said, I don't think you understand. You're in a government office and you were elected, you were put there by the people. And so I have the right to have access to this particular piece of information that I would like to have. And you can't tell me that I can't have it. And maybe if you don't know that I can have it, you should put somebody else on the phone who does know what I can and can't have. Just so you understand, right? Like, I think this is part of the thing that we all have to be, I think that right, pass the phone to someone who could not answer my questions, pass the phone who can do what I ask, right? Do what I ask you to do, because you're not in charge of me. Yeah, you're not in charge of me. I'm in charge of you. Right, Brandy, we have to push back, and we not just have to push back, but we have to push back and demand something entirely different. And I am past the point of wanting to just like, oh, we're all on one day, all going to go march together. No, you know what? I think we should start doing. I'll tell you what I found effective in terms of getting the press's attention with ballot health. One of the things that I found very effective was to hold community forums locally to talk about the status of things, and then having different folks come in and speak. And so this is the thing that I think would be beneficial. And you guys, I'm open to hearing what you think, but I think it would be great, because a lot of times you can get a like a local place or a local whatever, a venue to let you hold it in their facility, and then you advertise it, put it 2 weeks out, so not far enough in advance that people will forget and they don't come, but far enough advance to be able to get out the information. What's up, Uka? Get out the information to be able to do all of those types of things, right? But then the key is simply this, right? The key is to have, I personally would not have it be a Democratic event. Because if I'm being really, really frank, as I want the Democratic Party to get their shit together, will I vote Democrat because their policies reflect more of the things that I support? Of course. Do I think that the entire party is online where they ought to be and with the right messaging? I don't. Right? I really don't. I'm frustrated with the Democratic Party. I'm frustrated with people who are saying, we are, we want to work together where possible. No, I want you to grow a backbone. I want you to grow a spine. I want you to say, I'm not doing this shit. The country and the people deserve better. Look, Mexico is saying no to all kind of shit, and I'm here for it all day. And so I think that, so I wouldn't even call it an American town hall, right? Because that for some people is going to be offensive as well. To me, it's a community forum. That's what it is. It's a community forum. I want members of the community to come together to talk about the state of affairs and how it impacts them. Right? So how is it going to, what do these things look like for you? What percentage of your state and their funding and their educational funding it could be impacted by this education thing? What's happening with your state? I don't know if you all know this or not, but I had a friend of mine who let me know last night. Mila, listen, Dominic, hey, look, Dominic has to do e-learning. Dominic has to do school. So you have to be quiet while he's in school, okay? So let me give you this. I don't know. I do Blue Honey Pot the same way I think the word conservative has been hijacked. That was the same way that the flag has been. Yeah, I do. Somebody asked me if I feel the word American has been hijacked that bad, and I do. I feel like the flag has been hijacked that bad. I think if you talk to people that are around the world in other countries, the term American does not make you feel warm and fuzzy the way that it might have at one point in time, right? I feel like our allies don't feel the same way about the United States of America as they did just 6 months ago or 12 weeks ago, right? Or 12 months ago, right? And so I feel like, I do think that it has been hijacked and the reason I feel like that is because the country has been hijacked. The country itself has been hijacked. So yes, the word has been hijacked. So I think that, we are definitely in the upside down war. What's up, Sammy J? Right. And so, Canada booed the anthem. And I think that these are the things we need to stop talking about. I saw everybody talking about Trump, with that whole social media thing and long live the king. And everybody was reposting that. Number one, I'm not ever going to repost it. Do you want to know why? Because he's not the fucking king and I'm not going to amplify that. Why are Democrats giving their platforms to Trump? Yes, baby. If there is one, check and see. Why are Democrats giving their platform to Trump? Why aren't you instead putting out every single day what they are doing it? Because I'm going to tell you right now, that's what Bernie Sanders does. Every single day, Sanders tells you what's happening, and then he gives you his thoughts on everything. He's telling you, thanks, Red Hot. He's telling you his thoughts, his position, why these things are bad, all of that sort of thing. And that's what needs to happen, right? Every single one of our people should be talking about themselves. They should be talking about what they want to do. They should be talking about the impact on people. Appreciate you, see. They should be doing those types of things. I repost him all the time, right? Yeah. Do you know how to do it? Hey. Oh, never mind. You have school. 1 second, folks. I just need to put this in the I need to put this in the microwave for her real quick. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know that you can. Oh, you were talking about with the stool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it for you, baby. Okay. Oh, sorry, huh? Didn't know. Doris didn't know. Okay. I'm glad to see you're eating good today, sis. Here. There you go. All right. So yeah, so I want to do, I'm coming back and I'm talking as I'm coming. I want to do, yeah, and I know that AOC is also blasting out the truth. Here's the thing that bothers me. The people that are doing it, the Jasmine Crockett's, the AOC, the Bernies, right? Those are the people that stick out the most and that people aren't, that people don't listen to. We need moderates. We need middle of the road. We need communities to have those conversations and not just those folks, right? So we need the folks that aren't part of the squad. We need the folks who aren't, yeah, Salwell always has been. And I like that. But but my point is that we need the people that the media isn't necessarily shouting out and amplifying, and so we have to be those people, and then we have to amplify it for them and with them, right? How do we get them? With these phone calls and all of that. So I literally have pulled up in front of me right now a template for a letter, and I also put another document in the Google Drive today. So, so I'm going to put another sample kind of letter or talking points to have these conversations, and it's the same issues, but the talking points I'm going to provide verbiage on how I would say it when I'm talking to a Democratic candidate or Democratic representative versus when I'm talking to a Republican. What I know about Republicans is you have to make everything about money. Okay. And while this might be good for the people, for their donors, these, this tax plan and all these different things, it might be making their financial, I'm just being honest, Gabriella, right? You have to make it about money for them. You really do. And I think the thing that people need to understand is that long term, though, it's going to come back to bite them in the ass, because when we talk about the finances of their majority of their voters, the majority of their voters are not affluent. They are not wealthy. They are lower to socioeconomically disadvantaged, typically, right? And so we have to start to talk about that. But at the same time, we have to be building bridges. So there are some creators that I really actually respect. Y'all hear me? Listen, there are creators that I respect, but every time I tune into their platforms, yeah, baby. Okay. Hey, take this charger right here. I think it's at 1, hon. So, but it's not even about, okay, so when you say Schumer and Pelosi have to go, period, point blank, tell me what that does right now in this moment. Tell me what that does right here in this moment. When Don Lemon and Will from Back 40, I don't know what that means, right? It does nothing. I'm no longer focused on individual people, and like McConnell saying today he's not going to run again. I don't think that he can. Like we've all seen him freeze up several times. Um, all the things. I'm not interested in those people. I'm interested in voters. So I was looking at the math today. So did you all know that there's about 262 million voters that are 18 and over? Did we know that? There are two contact Don Lemon about what, Katrina? Oh, rural Westmoreland, you mean? So yeah, so we have 216 million people that are 18 and older, roughly in 2024, and yeah, so that's roughly what we have, and so only about 152 million people actually voted. That's it. About 152 million people voted, give or take some, right? So what does that mean? That means 100 million people didn't vote. I don't know. Like it's crazy. It's like 40% of the population didn't vote, right? And so what are they counting on? They are counting on frustration. They are counting on apathy. They are counting on whatever. So one of the things that I looked at last year and in 2023 was the number of people that were registered to vote who didn't vote. Well, and so English, when you say they're not being inspired to vote, I want to have that conversation. Okay. Because here's what I feel about that. Do I agree with you that they're not being inspired to vote? Sure. I also agree that that's part of being spoiled in America is we think we need to be inspired to vote instead of understanding that it's your damn duty to do so. It's your duty to do so. And people feel like, oh, I'm not going to vote because I don't have anybody that I really, really like. Well, it's not about who you like and who you don't like. Do you like having food on your table? Do you like having the First Amendment? Do you like having free public education? Do you like, right? Because that's the thing is so other people understand, other countries understand that if you don't vote, you can lose all of that shit because there are other countries who don't have all of those things, right? So, Christine, I don't believe that you should make it mandatory either. I don't. And the reason why I don't is because you can't make someone do something. Anytime you try to force someone to do something, it's going to turn out badly. Um, right, Lori. Right, right. Peace, Stewart. Keeping my rights is inspiring. And so I think that that's the conversation that we need to have. But here's the thing: you would think that by now the Democratic Party would have learned what we did the last time is all they did was talk about Trump, and therefore Trump stayed in the news. And then all you hear is what are Democrats doing? What are Democrats doing? What are Democrats doing? But Democrats are doing things, but you don't hear it because everybody's busy talking about Trump and Elon. So stop fucking talking about Trump and Elon. Stop. That's not going to be the thing that changes people's minds. If Donald Trump doing bad shit was ever going to keep someone from voting or supporting him, we would have done that. We would have hit that January of 2021. There is no too far. There is no too far where he is concerned for those people who are just diehard Trumpers. So don't talk about him and don't talk about Elon. Instead, I would be talking about the impact on people, what's happening right now. Because people should be mad as hell. Okay, let me help you. Can you bring your laptop? Um, I was away from my phone, but going back a bit, you should be required to vote. Yeah, and my thing is, I don't believe you should be required to vote. I think when you require people to do something, then people are like, well, fuck it. If you're going to make me do something, then I'm going to waste my vote, or I'm going to vote in a way that is harmful, right? Oh, and it should be right there.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Hold on, let me just see. It doesn't look like she's doing it.
I don't know if Bob got it wrong and that Miss Thompson said it was her views right now or something. I don't know.
Okay, so let me just look real quick. Hold on, you guys. I'm helping my boy.
That's the text that I got from mom.
Yes.
Said that it was Miss Thompson and Miss Thompson said it's her. Yeah.
Okay, so can you just take me to hold on one second.
Got myself in and everything, and that was dual classroom.
Yeah.
So then I went on the tab, which is Miss Thompson, which is Thompson,
Yep.
and I couldn't find her.
She's not there.
And then now there's Miss Thompson thing. That's what ELA.
Nope. Huh. Hold on one second. I'm helping him, guys. So they're not there at all. Text your mom and tell her. Here, I will email. Let me email Miss Thompson real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna. Y'all know me. I'm multitasking my life as usual. It is an e-learning day, and Bella had no issues with hers, but my grandson's teacher does not appear to be online for his e-learning, and he's very. Let me see, baby.
I put in the link, but it said invalid too.
Oh, okay. So, come here. Bring your one second. Okay, so stay right here. Is your okay, it's gonna open up right here for you. Leave it.
See?
Why is it
You want to touch it in a clip.
okay, hold on, babe. That's freaking weird. Hold on, sorry guys.
I'll say this thing.
Where is it, baby? That was in your text from mom?
Mhm.
Okay, so hold on. I gotta help him. You have remote learning today? Yes, we do. So give me a sec. Give me your.
Sorry.
That's okay. I got you.
And it didn't help the time kept stealing my seat whenever I left.
Okay. Well, you need. Here, baby. I got you. You're in. You can join. You're welcome. You want your phone back?
Yep.
Mila, give this to Bubby, please. I got him fixed. I wear many, many hats, as you all know. Thank you. Give it to Bub. Thanks. All right. So I want to talk just really, really quickly about a couple different things. So first, yes, Tutu for the win. So first thing that I want to talk about, before we get into all of those things, um, I want to do. It's going to sound really weird, and if you all say you don't want to do it, thanks Jen Penn for gifting subscriptions. I appreciate that. Then let me know if this is something that you don't think would be beneficial. But I found an old exercise, and you hear me talking about this a lot. But I thought maybe we would kind of look at something together. It was Jen Penn, Uka. It was Jen Penn that gifted you a subscription. So let me do this. I want to replace this over here in this world. Okay, perfect. All right, so I want you guys to see if you can see this over here in TikTok land. Okay, tell me if you can, well, for fuck's sake, if TikTok would let me do it. There we go. All right. So I know that this is small, and so you might not be able to see it. But you see where it says, where does it fit? If you're on YouTube and Facebook, you should be able to see it beautifully. Yeah, I know. Mitch said it earlier today, Maine. For those of you guys who are in the link tree, give me a second because I'm going to put it's in the link tree docs that's in there, but I will actually put it in the beginning as well so that everybody has access to it. Okay. The reason why I want to do this is because I needed to do this for me to level set. And I want to remind you all to do this to level set. I know he's okay. He's okay. So let me pop this in the link tree for folks. If you want to open this up, you can do that. So, hold on one second. I mean, it's past time for Mitch to retire. It's past time for many of them to retire, but I do believe that part of that is on us. Part of that is on us for not conveying that, for not. So I'm going to tell you something that I did today that I have never done before. And not because I'm a quote unquote dim, because I'm not, right? Oh, we have 3 minutes on a subwave. That's awesome. But I did this because, so let me just, okay. So for those of you guys who are in, at my link tree, it's there. There's this document called Where Does It Fit? And this 1 is in your control. The 2 is in your circle of influence. And the 3 is outside of your control or your influence. And I want to talk about the things that we talk about on a regular basis every single day, right? And the things that have you upset, the things that have you freaking out, the things, Michelle T, it's part of all of the programs that I do, but it's one that I just wanted to kind of share with everybody just to kind of level set, because I don't know if you all, okay, Doug, I don't know if you all have been feeling like I have, but it has been a lot. It has been a lot lately. And I personally needed to unload some things that I had put on my plate that don't belong to me. Okay. So I'm going to name a couple of things, and I want you to tell me in the chat by putting 1, 2s, or 3s where it goes. Okay. So number 1 are the things that you can control. That's what's in your circle, the inner circle. The 2 are the things that are within your influence. And number 3 are the things that are outside of your influence or your control. Okay. So I'm going to read off one thing. Okay. So what, baby? What? Oh, okay, baby. She said, I'm not talking to you. Okay, girl. I thought you were. Okay. So first thing, Elon Musk. Does Elon Musk go in the number 1, the number 2, or the number 3 place? Elon Musk, 1, 2, or 3? 3. We can't control Elon Musk at all. So some of you guys put 2. So 2 are the things that are within our circle of influence. So tell me, what are the ways, and you can request to come up on the panel, but how do you all think that we can influence what Elon Musk says or does? How do we influence how Elon Musk thinks, says, and does? His thoughts, his words, or actions. Hey, Wawa. Because a couple of you all put 2. Because for me, I don't buy anything from Elon Musk. I don't buy Starlink. I don't buy Teslas, right? And even if I bought them, would that change the way that, because he has $400 billion. Let me just, can we have a come to Jesus moment really quickly? If everybody right now today stopped buying a Tesla for 30 days, how much would that hurt a man that's worth $400 billion? Now, what I did see was a retirement portfolio company, the largest one in the EU. They sold all their Tesla stock, right? So They're no longer part of it. So they might have an impact on him, but realistically speaking, we are not going to be able to damage Elon Musk from a financial perspective, right? So for me, I'm speaking for me, Elon Musk, his thoughts, his words, and his actions, they go solidly in the 3. Those are the areas that are outside of my influence, the areas that are outside of my control. That's where they fall for me. Okay. All right. So, so when you say if the other billionaires are losing, I think the question is, so this is the thing. What would it take to hurt a billionaire? What's up, Camille? Right, Cheryl, I agree. I think only his power and his freedom. I do not you, Amy. Not somebody typing Luigi. And I shouldn't laugh, but it caught me off guard. Oh, geez. She said Luigi. I don't think so, Yolanda Barnes. Would a mass exodus of X throw him off? I don't know. I left X already, right? So I don't know. I mean, he's already driven it. You guys, he paid $44 billion for X. He's worth 10 times that much. Hey, sissy, not so loud, okay, babes? Right? So again, when we're talking about the things that would have an impact on him, are they things inside your influence or your control? Do you have enough influence, you personally, to impact Elon Musk's thoughts, words, or actions? You. I don't think so. So for me, he's a solid 3. This is the question, guys. This is the question. This is how you determine. So picture these circles right here. These are your dinner plates. These are your dinner plates. So think about the dinner plates that get deeper, right? These are the dinner plates. So for me, he's on the edge of my dinner plate. I can't do nothing with him. Okay. What are some other things though? When we think about things that are within our circle of control, our circle of influence, our circle or things that are outside of those. So next, the media. The media. Is the media within your circle of control or within your circle of influence? People are saying 2s and 3s. Okay, so I break this down for me into 2 different types of media, 2 different groups of media. Mainstream media, probably a 3, right? Mainstream cable, probably a 3. But local media, statewide media, and social media are definitely a 2. Local media, regional, and state media are a 2. Right? And the one piece about it that you do get to control is how you participate in it or how you consume it or if you do consume it. Okay? So if you see Fox News, Newsmax, MSNBC, CNN saying some shit that is just like alarming, that is going to take you on an emotional roller coaster, right? Remember, what part of your plate is it on? And if you don't have any control or influence on it, the only thing that you can control is your response or your reaction to it. The only thing that you get to control is your response or your reaction to it. But you don't get to control the media itself. You can influence your local media. We've talked about letters to the editors. We've talked about, having community forums and doing press releases. But how much of your emotional currency are you willing to spend on people and organizations that you have absolutely no control over? And how much more productive could you be if you took that emotional energy and channeled it into direct action? If people spent less time being upset and outraged about all the things that Trump is doing and the DEI this and that and the women's this and this, and if they put all of that emotional energy into actual action to combat them, right? Hey, Jay. So it's a thought. Yeah, emotional currency. That's what it is. And you only have so much. You only have so much. Okay. So I'm going to give you another word. Okay. You ready? The weather. Is the weather a 1, 2, or 3? Is the weather a 1, 2, or 3? Now, you might say, Danny, why in the fuck are you talking about a 3, the weather? I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. Is because, do you know, I see, you said 1 because you're a Democrat. Shut up. Listen, this is the thing that tickles me. I have seen some people that are talking about how, oh my God, the world is so dark and it's raining on top of that. And so they're just miserable. And I'm not discounting depression. I'm not discounting emotional well-being. I'm not discounting it. What I am saying is, how much of your emotional currency are you spending on the weather? Hey, what's up, Nicole Bell? Hey, Thea. Are you stacking the negatives and racking up a bill that your emotional mental health can't pay? Appreciate you, Miss Slim. Do y'all see what I'm saying? How many people do you all see right now that are like, and don't forget, and now it's snowing on top of this, and so we've got shitty weather and a shitty president and a shitty this and a shitty that and a like all the things. They're just stacking all the things. You have to unpack the things and separate them. And if I want to, I can find a positive. You know what I'm saying? If I want to, wallowing in it. Right. And don't get me wrong. Having negative or concerning emotions with everything that's going on is justified. Yep. That's reasonable. Right. The choice is, how long do you want to sit in that thing? Right? So how long do you want to sit in it? Right, Thea. Okay. So Sammy J, got no idea. All right. I'm going to give you a next one. Okay. You ready? Here's another one. The outcome of court cases. The outcome of court cases. Tori, I'm going to come back to you. Yep. Okay, you said 2. So people that are saying 2, tell me how you can influence the outcome of a court case. Tell me how you can influence the outcome of these court cases, whether it's about the restraining order against Doge and Musk, whether it's the jury. But if you're not sitting on a juror right now, right, the question becomes, how are you? Yeah, but are you hiring the attorneys? How do letters and calls and things impact a jury? They don't. They shouldn't. And not a judge. They shouldn't. I'm going to give you all a prime example. Did y'all see that yesterday it was Judge Tanya Chutkan that handed the Trump administration pretty much a win? Did you all see that? because she's going by the law. The 14 states that had sued for the restraining order against Musk and them, right? And she said, listen, you haven't shown me where there's imminent harm, because that's what the law required, Candy Red. Now, in her opinion, in her ruling, she stated all the things about Musk and their access and all of these things that are controversial. But in order to issue that restraining order, you have to prove that there's an imminent threat. She was the one on Jack Smith's case. But that is, so that, what does that tell you? That tells you that's a judge that can't be bought and isn't just going by their partisan feelings. She did give them the road to get the restraining order. She outlined for them the standard that they had not met. Right. Perfect, Carla. You can lobby for changes in the law, right? But even lobbying for changes in the law isn't going to change the outcome of a current court case. Right? Okay. So let's do another one. So listen, guys, this is in my link tree so that you can print this out and do this exercise for yourself. The reason why I'm recommending it is so that you get really, really focused on the things that you can control, the things that are in your circle of influence, and the things that you need to offload. And then what I want you to do is, when you do this exercise, I want you to ask yourself, how much of your emotional currency are you spending on things that are in the 3 zone? How much of your emotional currency, how much of your time are you spending talking about, thinking about, looking at the things that are happening in the 3 instead of the things that are happening, that could be happening in the 1 and in the 2? Yes, Terry. Yes, Terry, she did. Yeah, but it has to meet a certain legal standard. Like just like 1,000 people losing their job, that doesn't necessarily indicate imminent harm on a scale impacting 14 different states. You're starting to pick up on what I'm doing? Yay, Kat. I love that. So do you see what I'm saying about the reason why this is I put this in my link tree for you all. It's in my Google Drive, right? And this is there specifically so you can start to look at where are you spending your emotional currency, your time, your energy, and how much of it is being spent on the things that are in the outer ring instead of the things that are in the inner ring. So what do we have on this list? And you all can't really see it because it's tiny on TikTok. You can see it on Facebook and YouTube. But so I'm going to give you I'm going to read the list of things that I just put up here. And you can put any other thing on here that you want to. But I put on here the weather. So I'm just going to read them to you, and I'm going to tell you where I'm putting them. Okay. So the weather for me is a 3. Besides like just normal, like recycle, reuse, whatever, right? The weather is a 3. My thoughts, that's a 1. The threat of conflict or war, that's a 3 for me. I can't do anything about that. Okay. My actions / behavior, that's a 1. She mentions that in her opinion. I encourage you to read her opinion. She mentions that. Okay. You are welcome, Patrice. Okay. So my actions and behavior, those are me. The media for me is national media. Mainstream media is a 3. Local media, regional media, social media for me is a 2. And my platforms are a 1. So I influence other platforms and other people and other places in the things that I share on my social media. Right? The things that I say on social media, if I join other people's panels, the podcast, right? These are 1s and 2s for me. Where do they fall for you? And I've heavily talked about writing letters to the editor, writing your officials, posting them on your social media, all of those different types of things, right? Next, cyber threats. For me, I can't control those. I can only report them when they come. I can't influence them if they come, but they're a 3. My reputation is a 2. I don't get to control it. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks, Miss Slim, for gifting subscriptions, right? I don't get to control my reputation, but I can influence it by the things that I can't control. But how somebody else feels about me, I can't do nothing about that, right? Government policy. Government policy is a 2. I can't control it, but I can hopefully influence it, right? The economy or prices, that's a 3. I can't do anything about it. Okay. My mood, that's a 1. I can control my mood. That's mine. I get to own that. It's mine. Unaliving, my own or anybody else's. That's a hard 3. Other than eat and take care of myself, right? But even then, if it's your time, it's your time, right? My mindset or my attitude is a 1. That's solely mine. Okay. My friends, they're a 2. I can influence them, but I don't get to control them. My family, they're a 2. Their choices are a 2. My vote is a 1. Election outcomes is a 2. Right? My responses, my reactions, hard 1. My work ethic, 1. Other people's behavior, other people's thoughts, 2. Depending upon who the people are. Traffic, 3. The only thing I get to control about traffic is when I choose to get in it and when I don't. Right? If people like or love me, 2. My words, 1. World peace, 3. Right? Politicians, 2. You see what I'm saying? So, and these were just words that I put together really quickly. When you do this exercise, like I said, it's in my link tree in the Google Drive. I recommend putting whatever in here that fits your life. Make this very specific. Think about the things that you are spending your time and your emotional currency on. And then I want you to look and I want you to see. So the way that I would recommend this is once you put it into where it goes, right? Then you want to say, how much of this am I spending? Right? Right, Mel Gray, right? And then you want to look at and say, okay, so where am I giving away my power? Because that's literally what you're doing, folks. If you are focusing on things that are outside of your control and things that are outside of your influence, then you are giving away your power, because those are the only things that you do have some power in, right? And if you're not focusing on them because you're focusing on the 3s, now let me just tell y'all something. There are other people that your 3s are going to be their 1s and their 2s. And you have to trust that those people are going to be working on their 1s and 2s. So the reason I did this is because I found myself yesterday needing to revisit this for myself. I wear a ton of hats, got a lot of family, got a lot of friends, got a lot of followers, got a lot of issues, got a lot of this, got a lot of that, right? And so, yes, Miss Slim Shady, yes. And so yesterday, I literally had to light my sage, and I do things that are figuratively, just because sometimes when we take an action, it helps make something more real. Does this make sense to you? So I literally just sat down and took everybody else's gunk and wiped that shit off of me. Like, get y'all's mess off of me, because it is not mine. And I'm tired of carrying other people's gunk. And what I find is, because I am in so many different spaces and I'm working to advocate and assist so many different people and different types of people, what I find is they leave parts of their stuff with me, their gunk with me, right? And so I got to get that stuff off of me. And so by doing this type of exercise, you can reduce what's on your plate, know where to focus on, and then truly walk in your power to make change. Okay. So this is why I wanted to take the time. It seems like a really weird thing to be doing on a TikTok live. But for me, we can only talk about what they are doing so much. We have to also be talking about how do we care for ourselves and how do we stay effective during this time? Right. The energy residue, right? Yeah, Carla. So this is the thing. I can't do anything about A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, right? But I can do something about LMNOP. And so it helps me figure out where do I need to focus. And sometimes I'm so busy focused on the negative threes that are out there, I'm forgetting to celebrate the positive ones that I'm actually doing. Right? Like for me, when I think about in the last 30 days, in the last 6 weeks, I've launched a podcast, right? I've gotten my LLC all done, got my programs are being set back up, right? I've got subscriptions going again. I'm now doing trainings for folks. Like these are things that I have accomplished in the middle of all of the stuff. And I have yet to take a single moment to like been like, damn, that, you know what I mean? Like, good job, girl. Good job, girl. Instead, you know what I was doing? I was like, oh my God, I haven't been live in 2 days. Oh my God, I haven't been live in 2 days. TikTok is going to kill me. Da, 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 blah, 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 blah. I'm not doing enough of this and I have so much stuff to do and I don't need, you know what I'm saying? That this is what we do. We have to take the time to celebrate the wins. So I don't mind to share. If you have been with me for a while, you know that I'm very transparent. So I have a practice that I used to do all the time that when I do it, I feel so good. Right. So my practice, I call it my 4 morning rituals. Right. So when I wake up in the morning, my feet hit the floor and I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. The next thing I do is I do my little reading/meditation time. The third thing I do is typically, I didn't get to do it today, but I would work out, right? And then the fourth thing to do is then I would make my smoothie, whatever I want in my smoothie, right? So today I did my journal meditation time for the first time in a while. Now, here's what I love about the way life works for me. So I'm going to see if I can show you all, because what I do with this particular book is, what I do with this particular book, and this is part of the Get Your Life program that some of you guys are in. This is part of that program, and this is part of the coaching program that some of you guys have signed up for. But so I take this book that I have. It's called Living a Life of Awareness, right? This book. And a lot of times I'll take this book. Thanks, John. I'm resetting the goal. And I'll just hold the book and I'll say, okay, so what do I need to know for today? And I'm just trusting that I'm going to open the book to the page that has whatever it is that I need to know that's for my greatest good, right? So this morning I took the book and I held it shut and then I just said, okay, what do I need to know for today? And then I opened the book up and I looked at this page. Let me tell you all how much I love this page, and I haven't seen it in a while, but listen to what it says. It says wishing. Wishing is a popular pastime in our culture. You can wish upon a star, cash in your 3 wishes from a genie, or make a wish before you blow out the candles. When you look deeper, there are really only 2 types of wishes: those that function as pleas and those that serve as prayers. When wishing is loaded with expectation, you've created an attachment to the outcome. And in this way, wishing with this intention is really a plea from the mind. When you wish without expectation, your intention is a simple desire for good, to move things in a positive direction. The focus is on the potential and the possibility of change. This type of wishing is a prayer from the heart. This one little difference of expectation can change a wish from an ego-driven demand to an open-hearted request. By letting go of expectations, we focus our intent on positive change while remembering that whatever outcome occurs will ultimately be the best one. This is Living a Life of Awareness by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., right? And then it has a practice. And the practice says, when you notice yourself wishing something were different, which many of us do, we're wishing that we had a different president. We're wishing that Elon Musk wasn't in the White House. We're wishing that, it was the Republicans didn't have the majority in the House. Like there's a lot of wishing happening, right? It says, when you notice yourself wishing that something is different, make your wish a prayer instead of a plea. Let go of your attachment to the outcome and relax into the freedom of trusting the universe. So today, this was my journaling. Appreciate you, Dana. So this is what my journaling says today. Instead of focusing on the fact that it's been damn near 2 months since I journaled and done my practice. What's up, Katie? This is what I said. Today, I begin again. No shame, no guilt, and finally, no expectation to the outcome. I am simply beginning again. And isn't it amazing that I get to do such a thing? Isn't it incredible that on such a morning, in such a time as this, I get to wake up and begin again? There's no one or nothing to stop me except me. And I choose to not stop, but instead to start again. I choose newness, opportunity, unity, and possibility. As sure as the sun has just risen, I am blessed to begin again. So I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that was my journal for myself this morning, right? I got to begin again. Instead of me going, fuck, I haven't journaled in almost 2 months. Oh my gosh, I haven't been doing my morning routine. Oh my gosh, I haven't been doing this. Oh my gosh, I haven't. You know what? I get to do it again. I get to begin again. I get to start. I get to do it again. Today, right? Today, I got to call my senator and express my feelings. Today, I get to get online and share a simple tool or two to help people balance all of their emotions that we have in the time that we are in, right? Today, like the kids had an unexpected e-learning day. I get to have all 3 of them here. I get to help Bella, right? I get to, right? Yeah, Teresa, there's a lot of emotions, right? And so this is my thing. Instead of us going, oh my God, it's so horrible where we are. Think about this, you guys. We get to fight for democracy because it's not gone. We still have a constitution today. We get to talk to people in our lives about voting and about issues. We get to talk to people that are of opposing views. We get to do that. There are some places and some countries where they don't get to. And we get to. Right, Mel Gray, we were born for this time. We get to. And so I think that instead of us looking at what's happening to us, right, we have to be looking at what's happening for us. What's happening for us? We have an opportunity right now to change the shape and the look and the longevity of our country. We get to do that. We get to. Not the boomers, not the Gen Zs or the As or the Bs. We get to. Some boomers get to be a part of it, right? Gen X, millennials, we get to be here for this time. And the beautiful thing about that is those 2 generations have experienced the coming and the going of the internet and, freedoms that we got at the beginning of Gen X and freedoms that, have now been limited or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And the way that I feel about this is I feel like we want boomers around to remind us of what was, right? And I don't want boomers to carry this. I think that boomers who are up for it have at it. I also think that boomers, you all put in your work. You all put in your work in the 50s and the 60s, right? You put in your work. I shouldn't expect for you at 80 to do the work that you were doing when you were 20, right? Now, if you want to support the work, beautiful. If you want to give us some wisdom about the work, amazing. But I'm not going to sit on my ass and say it's the responsibility of anybody else. Nope. It's my responsibility. Right? So I want us to be thinking about how we manage the things that are happening in this lifetime and in this world so that we are managing them appropriately. So I am going to be writing a letter to the editor. Okay. And I'll write a couple of different versions. I'll put them all in the Google Drive, all of them in the Google Drive. They're just examples for you to kind of see how I write them, what I say. Is Jen in here? I don't know if Jen is in here or not, but let me just say this. So Jen the other day took one of my 3-hour damn lives and she edited it so that I could put pieces of it online. And I was grateful. And she messaged me and she said, I tried to cut out all the small talk. And here's what I noticed. The small talk was where the differences were made. She kept in the parts where, and it was great. Do not get me wrong. It was great. But what I noticed is she was showing where shifts had occurred in the person that I was talking to. You guys remember when I was talking to the accent, the woman with the accent who said that she came to cook and I repoed her stove and all of her ingredients, right? So here's the thing. She was showing where the accent was coming along with me, right? When she'd actually gotten there. But what was missing in the editing were the places where the shifts were taking place. I'm going to give you an example. When I was talking about, and I had asked her, do you have children? And she had said yes. And she said that she has 2 sons and one of them is in the military for 6 years and he's in Korea. After that answer, Jen cut to the next part of what I said, right? And it was great because it showed her coming along with me. But here's what she missed. Right? This is what people would miss if that's all I posted, is that I said, oh yeah, where's he at in Korea? Because I was stationed in Yongsan, right? And when she said, he's at Camp Hum Hum, and I said, he's at Humphreys, right? And it was that connection building when I asked her if she had children. And when I asked her, when she said she had 2 sons, and I said, did you teach them both the same way when you're trying to get them to learn the same lesson? She says, oh, I see what you're cooking. I see what you're cooking. Because as a mom, we all understand that children learn differently. And I cannot discipline one child the same way that I discipline another child and think that they're both going to get it. Equity is when we give them what they need. Right? Right, Carol. That's when the heart connections are made. And so this is what I think is so important. These are the moments that every single one of us can have when we are carving out conversations, using compassion, authenticity, respect, and vulnerability. We can take conversations that start out seeming tense. They start out seeming adversarial. They start out in disagreement. And then they slowly work their way to the end of at least understanding, sometimes understanding and agreement. And that is where the work is going to be done. What I want is, instead of Congress people standing outside of the Department of Education and going, they won't let me in, It's fine if you do that, but then I want you to come home when you're on your couch and when you're in front of your TV, when you're with your kids who go to school, right? And then I want you to talk about what education means to you. And I want to talk about IEPs and 504s and what access looks like in school. And like, I want to see you outside of Congress. And so does everybody else. Relatability. Exactly, Thea. But that's also part of vulnerability. I want you all to hear me something. If all you see your representative as, if all you see Congress people are, is Congress people, then we're missing them. We're missing them. That's not who they are. Who are they as people? That's what I want to know. I want to know who you are as a person. I want to know who you are as a person. Like, I know who Bernie Sanders is as a person. No matter if I think he's far left, far right, or straight down the middle, it doesn't matter. I know who he is as a person, and he has been the same person his whole damn life, from marching in the civil rights movement up until right now. Exactly. Tim Walz, he's a person. This is the part that I don't care what party, and y'all listen, this is why they like Musk and Trump. Because even though they might be shitty people, they come off as shitty people. They just come off as people. Elon's doing an interview with his little kid, just telling all the damn secrets. The same way I do lives, and sometimes Mila is in my face. You see what I'm saying? So when we are going through and we're talking about all of these things, it is a lot. And I know that it is a lot. And I know that it can be overwhelming. I know all of that. Right, Ethan. That's why you support people like Gloria Johnson and Afton Ben, right? 100%. I'm going to tell you, when I met Afton Ben, she wasn't an elected representative at the time. She was all about some damn good trouble. She was protesting with some women that were part of Enough is Enough. Because I don't know if you all know this or not, but there's a member of the state legislature in Tennessee who has been accused of essaying teenage girls when he was their coach, right? And it's interesting because he's on a recording actually apologizing to one of the girls, but he's saying that wasn't an admission of guilt, right? So anyway, and the first time I meet Afton, I'm on a call. An amazing, incredible friend of mine connected us together. And we're on this call, I think on like a Saturday or something. And we're talking about, when can we have another call? And Afton says to me, well, I can't do it on Tuesday because I'm going to jail. Right? And she said, but I can do it Wednesday afternoon. And I said, wait a minute, did you just say that you're going to jail on Tuesday? And she said, yeah. And I'm just going to tell y'all what I said. I said, that's some white girl shit, right? Because people like me, we don't plan to go to jail because we don't know if we're getting the fuck out. That's what I said. We don't be planning that shit because we don't know, right? And she started laughing. And she said, yes, I know. That's my privilege. And that's why I use it. That's why I use it. And I said, that's my kind of people right there. Tell me that you recognize your privilege and that you're willing to use it in the advocacy of other people. That makes you my people. All day. Yeah. This is the place. So we are never going back. I want you all to understand something. We are never going back to the days of Obama or Clinton or Carter or Reagan. Listen, guys, we never ever can go back to what was. Y'all do know that, right? Because we are not the same country that we were back then. I know that hurt, huh? We are not the same country. We are not the same people. Therefore, we better get serious. We better get real about what kind of America we want to create, because there's a group of people that have decided what kind of America they want. They've written a fucking playbook and they are attempting to execute it every day. We better get clear about the America that we want. We have to get committed to a playbook. We have to get like this is where we need to be. Y'all follow me? Now listen, I said that and all of y'all are talking about how ugly their plan is. Stop it. I don't give a shit. What I want to know is, what's your plan? What is the America that you want to create? What is the America? What do you want your community to look like? Don't spend so much time focusing on what the fuck they have and what they've built. What are we doing in response? What do we want? What are we going to proactively create? Because I will tell you this, why do we only have a federal IDEA Act? Why don't we have state IDEA Acts? Why don't we have state legislation that provides that accountability? Why aren't we introducing that? If you noticed the bill that Massey introduced, the bill is blank and they just fill in the bill number because it was already pre-printed up for them. That's thanks to folks like the Heritage Foundation. That's thanks to folks like the Federalist Society. That's thanks to folks like ALEC. Those organizations write legislation so it's pre-done and ready to go, so that they can just present it to the lobbyists, the legislators, and get them to introduce it, right? So why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we doing that? Why am I not? Why are we not putting together legislation? Yeah, I know, Sammy J. They've gotten caught turning in bills with ALEC on the letterhead. So why aren't we doing that for them? Because they want it to be easy. So let's make it easy for them. Let's make it easy for them. So Jonathan, when you say they put in the work, so we need to work harder, I don't believe in that. I'll tell you what, it's not about working harder, because hard, here's what I believe. I believe that when you are doing the work and you are aligned, right, then it's not hard. It just is. I'm not going to say that I need to work harder, because I don't need to work fucking harder. My life is, I got enough. What I will say is I intend to work effectively. I intend to work effectively. And that's about the business that we have to be. We have to be about that business. So what I think is, there's a lot of people out there that are talking about, oh, what should be the Democratic strategy? What I think should be the people's strategy are the conversations that we're having right here, right now. I think the strategy is simply humanity. I think the strategy is just transparency. The strategy is, what kind of America do you want to live in? And let me just tell you all something. Whatever you're creating cannot be based on what they're doing. Listen to me. If your creation is a response to what they're doing, what you're birthing is being birthed from the energy of that bad thing. No, I'm not focusing on them at all. I'm not focusing on them at all. I'm not saying, oh, well, you're doing this, so that means I'm going to do that. Nope, I'm not going to. The way that we explain this in a really good way. So have you ever met someone who they grew up in an abusive household? And what they've said is, all I know is I'm never going to marry somebody who's an addict. I'm never going to marry somebody who's abusive, right? Hold on one second, right? But get this, by saying that, you're still attaching whoever you pick and whatever you do from a negative place. You follow me? You're still attaching whatever you're going to build and whatever you're choosing from a negative thing. How about I don't even take that into consideration at all? I don't take it into consideration at all. Why don't I focus on what I do want versus what I don't want? Why don't I focus on what I want to create, not what I don't want to have, so I'll choose something different? And let me just say this, okay? I refuse to group Democrats in one category or the other. I see some people saying get involved with your local Democratic committee. Here's what I will tell you. If they're a good Democratic committee and they are effective and they are interested in moving things forward, then fine, jump on board. If they suck, go the fuck around them. Okay? That's the measuring stick. It's not whether or not they are a Democratic organization or a Democratic committee or a Democratic whatever. It's not that. No, Mimi, not right now. It doesn't. We do not have an electoral process where a third party can win. It's not about whether they're a Democrat or not. It's about, are they effective? Are they ready to do the work? That's where find your people. For the first time ever, I have signed up to attend a Democratic convention in the state where I'm at. And I'm going to go check that shit out in a few weeks. And if they suck, that'll be my last time there. And if they don't, and I feel like it's something that I can have a positive impact on, then great. I've never been to one before. So I think that we need to be about the business of creating policy for people and sharing it in a way that people can see the possibilities. You follow me? Listen, I believe that we need to be about the business of creating policy for people, policies for people that we can share in a way that people can actually see the possibility of it coming to fruition. Absolutely. We should look for candidates in states where Republicans are running unopposed. Mila, come here, honey.
No, I'm here.
Shh, come here.
I'm here.
Okay, listen. If you need to turn a light on in the bathroom, you can, but don't go in the bedroom because Dominic's in school.
I'm peeing myself.
You did. So you need help, huh? Okay, I got you.
Juice.
Girl, do me a favor, please. Go in there and take your stuff off. Okay? And Tuju is going to come help you. Can somebody come give me a break just so I can take care of Mila? She has had an accident, as she so fervently expressed to me just now. Man, listen. This one be on one. She is on one, just so y'all know. Okay, hold on. Go in the bathroom. I need to help you. I know y'all heard. Listen. It happens fervently, very passionately. Don't jump, sissy, okay?
Okay. This juice is floor.
I know. I'm coming. You spilled the juice in the floor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tutu will get it up. I don't think she is. Let's just see. Cheryl can come up, and Cheryl, while you're up, if you're still here, oh shit. Cheryl, while you're up, okay. I'm going to take a break. You can also share with them. I know you said some of the wording around education is out. Cheryl is a great, fierce advocate when it comes to 504s and IEPs and things like that in education. So she might have a few tidbits for you on how we can focus on and talk to our legislators about education. So I'm going to leave it to you. I'm trying to make sure I have my volume turned up for you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I will do the best I can today. I'm having a very high fatigue day, so my brain is foggy. But I probably even sound it. Sometimes I sound hungover on days like this. But anyway, one of the things we need to do is focus on. I haven't had a chance to read all the information yet, so I don't want to put out like facts from documents. But the most important thing that we can do to help against this is to have that information, create bulleted points of the important aspects of how this affects the children directly, especially if you can make it personal about how it affects your family or like your grandchild, your kids, niece, nephew, and so on. And so when you call them, you have to give them direct information. I mean, that whole connection thing of exactly what this means, these changes will do. So those are the types of things that you focus on. I'm trying to think what else. The reason I had put in to come up wasn't actually about this one. When Danny was having the conversation in regards to what we're able to control and not control, really hit home with me as I was sitting in last night in a prom planning committee at my child's very small private school that they attend because of their immune deficiency. Public school isn't the safest place for them. But I'm sitting here at this prom planning committee looking around in this surreal situation of what am I doing here? I was watching these moms argue back and forth, making the prom all about them and wanting to fundraise $10,000 for a student class of less than 150 kids. And I'm just like, what am I doing here? What was the point of this? Really feeling like I'm volunteering without a purpose. So I don't know that I'll be going back to that. Not that I don't believe the kids should have a prom, but I'm pretty sure the $4,000 they've already raised is more than enough to have an adequate prom. And I'm just like, the world is burning. For sure, Nancy, we need $10,000 for prom. Anyways, so I had to leave and figure out what can I focus on. So one of the things I was looking at is the SAVE Act that we're all watching that's in regards to voting rights. And a lot of us are concerned about the barriers that are caused. It's not going to make it to where we can't vote, but it's obviously going to cause barriers for some people if it does go through. So like Danny said, this is something we might be able to influence, but in all actuality, we can't prevent a voting event. So if it happens, it happens. What we should be focusing on and shifting gears is what we can control. So making committees in our areas where we focus on knowledge. So it needs to be information about who needs what to vote, what do they need to get their hands on, where can they get what they need to vote and access it. We need to focus on who has these barriers. Who is this going to affect? Fundraising money to be able to help those people, because a lot of them, the barriers are going to be monetarily and that knowledge. So getting out and sharing the knowledge of the changes so they're prepared, getting the money to help the people who might need monetarily money to make those things happen.
Wait till he's done with school, okay?
And then the next is access. Some of these people might not have transportation to make these things happen. These are things we could be doing in our communities as groups. Those are things that we can control.
Yes.
And it should be happening now, just in case it goes through. And we can change the knowledge of what's needed if it does happen. We should be working on getting this information out now and creating these committees
This
for
is
the midterms
mommy's. It
coming
goes
out.
to mommy's house. Can you get the other one for me?
Because a lot of these people that it's going to affect are people who do not have
cannot put
access
it-
to internet,
Don't put it in the.
do not have
bowl.
access to transportation,
Don't put it in the
but they
bowl.
still vote.
You have to drink it.
And we want to make sure they're capable of doing
You
it.
cannot put it anywhere else.
So I don't know if
Awesome.
that's helpful.
That is very helpful.
My prom committee.
I did hear your prom committee thing. I had you turned up loud so I could hear it. Absolutely. And that's the thing, right? Is that figuring out exactly what you just said is where can I focus and what can I do? Another one, let me just say this. She's talking about the Department of Education where they want to dismantle it, right? And all of those, that's what she's talking about, Rylene. And so the other thing that is helpful, right, is to oh my God, I shouldn't read the comments. I was reading the comments and it went right out of my head. So what you were talking about doing that. Fuck. It just went out of my brain.
I keep talking to what you're thinking. One of the things that we are seeing happening for some places that they're losing grants already that have to do with specific things like helping students who are transitioning into the workforce from college that have disabilities. Those types of things are happening now. That is factual information that is out there. One of the ways that we can help this, besides constantly sharing how this is affecting people and what it's doing, we can use those examples, but we can also be finding ways like, where else can we get grants? Where else can we get money to make sure that these students it's affecting right now, how can we help them?
Yeah.
Because we're not going to be able to stop everything, but we can't just say, okay, well, that's how it is. We got to figure out what can we do.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the other thing is thinking about, okay, so what are the things that we can do? Remember what we said? We said part of this was going to be about keeping the checks as much as possible, right? Preventing as much harm as we possibly can, while also figuring out how can we still accomplish some of these things in the meantime, right? Some of these things are going to go to court cases and some of these things are going to be doing that. So how do we accomplish them in the meantime for people and for people who now it came back to me. I love it. Okay. The other thing that I would say to you is take a look at your county elections board or your local elections board. A lot of times in these communities where they don't want people voting, you will see that they will have fewer voting locations, less voting hours, especially when it comes to early voting and different things like that. You can be an advocate for those people. So I'll give you an example. In 2022, when I was in Atlanta, in Midtown Atlanta at the High Museum, they had early voting 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., right? Early voting 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Down in the west end of Atlanta, right? Predominantly Black, inner city. There was only in their main voting location, it was at the Morris Brown University. I think. Anyway, my brain is mush right now. So not Spelman, not Atlanta Clark. Why am I going blank? It's the other one. Anyway, it's the third one that's there. And it was only 2 days that they had early voting there. And those days were, and the time frame was from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So if you worked during the day, you were screwed in terms of being able to, no. Morehouse. Thank you, SB Unique. You would think that I would know. I had kids from Morehouse that worked with me during that time. I don't know why my head was just blank as hell, but it was. Anyway, so, but do you see the difference between Midtown Atlanta and the High Museum, where it's 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and then it's Morehouse and it's only 2 days and it's 8 to 4:30 p.m. You know what I'm saying? So becoming active in your community and with your local boards and your local elections boards, you can have an impact on all of the elections, local, state, and federal elections, right? When you start to notice the other communities, those socioeconomically disadvantaged communities where they are doing their best to suppress the vote. And this is what people don't understand is barriers is suppression, right? So barriers are fewer voting locations, fewer voting hours. Barriers are costs for your state IDs and things like that. There's all there, or barriers are where those locations are and having transportation to and from. I don't know if you all remember this, but in Georgia in 2022, they had actually passed legislation that you could not bring people food and water while they were waiting in line to vote. It was now a crime. So what they did instead, yeah, I saw it that they want to get rid of the early voting in Kansas. I did. And so what they did in Atlanta was like literally at some of the voting locations where you had lines going all the way around the building and down the sidewalks, they had food trucks lined up. What, baby? Okay. They had food trucks. And what you could do is on your way to vote, they had these little bags with a bottled water and a bag of chips in it. And like, I don't know, some of the little snacks. And then after you voted and you came back with your voting sticker, you went to the food truck, you gave the food truck the voting sticker, and you got a free meal, right? For having gone and voted. And so like they did things, but the point is that we shouldn't have to do those things. That should not be necessary. Like entrepreneurs should not have to come out and give out free things. You see what I'm saying? It's nice, but it shouldn't be necessary. You know what I mean? And so this is the thing that people need to really understand. Yeah. And they made it harder for college students who didn't know that they could, because in Georgia, you could only early vote in your specific, you could vote anywhere in your county in Georgia for early voting, but not on election day. It had to be at your precinct. So there's a lot of different things. So here's what I'm saying to you is getting involved in finding out what are the early voting locations? Like, what does it look like? Yeah. But here's the part. It can be in our influence, Kat. It can be in our influence, right? If we look up that voting legislation, we can absolutely write letters to the editor. We can absolutely contact our representatives. We can absolutely ask for those, right? So those are within our influence. You want to be as unbothered as me? Like, girl, me too. Right? So all of these things are things that we have to look at as we kind of move forward. Hold on a second. I had a message. Okay. All right. Yeah, she's just singing. Yes, and I love that, Kat. I love that you're demonstrating your application of your previous session. All right. So here's what I need to do. So their mama, my daughter, is sick at work, and she needs me to get her transportation home. So I need to make that happen. And I'm not sure if I can make that happen from my computer or if I'm going to need to get on my phone, which is where I'm doing TikTok from. So give me a second, folks. Oh, the things that I do. Yeah. Life be lifing. And I'm just going to take it in stride because there ain't nothing I can do about it, right? Life be lifing. Okay, so I do want to, not asking me for the 4-digit code. Hold on, y'all. It's going to look like I'm going somewhere, but I'm not. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Oh my God. Jesus. Why did I type the wrong thing? And now it's mad at me. Okay. Hold on. Jesus Christ. Start over, please. Start the fuck over because I don't know. I must be tired. I'm sharing your fatigue, Cheryl. Hold on one second, y'all. Don't judge me.
Fatigue is rough today.
Yeah.
I woke up at 3:45 in the morning and could not go back to sleep, and because it was high pain. I'm just like, and there's so much stuff going on and so much to do. So like you said, like you said today, the heart, I just got to take a breath and tag other people and tell them they need to do some work.
Okay, so Bedazzled, right? Hold on one second. So Bedazzled Wallace, it is not true. I did another live where I covered the bill that you're talking about. That is not what the bill says. That's not anywhere in the bill. What the bill is unnecessary though, because the law that it says that they're going to implement already exists. So the answer is no. What it does do is it makes it's additional barriers to being able to vote. So for example, obviously if you got married, then your married name is not, and you took your husband's name, it's not going to match your birth certificate, right? So you would also need to have a copy of your marriage certificate. Those types of things are the additional documents you need to have. Same thing if you were adopted. If you just legally changed your name and all those things, you'll need to have those documents. And so while it's not true, it's not specifically about marriage or whatever, it's specific about being able to have all of the available documentation, which can be very difficult if you no longer live in the state where you were born, live in the state where you had it done. It can be very cumbersome and difficult depending upon what you have to provide in order to get it and how much it costs to get it and those types of things. So I've covered that on a different live, but it's absolutely not necessary. And it's something that we don't need, because if you are, you just need your marriage certificate, Yvonne. But it's not necessary because it is already illegal for undocumented immigrants to vote. It's literally a felony, y'all.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's a felony. If they even register, not if they vote, but if they just flip and register, they face 5 years in prison and deportation. So I hope that answers it. So here's what I need to do. I need to get my sick child home. I know we were only on for 2.5 hours versus our normal 3 to 4. But I will be back and I'm going to work on throwing some more documents, both in the Linktree and in the Google Drive. So if you do not have, you need whatever you changed, you need whatever your legal documentation is for changing your name, Allie. So whatever your legal documentation is from court where you had that legal name change done for whatever reason, you would need that documentation, right? If you got divorced, but you kept your spouse's name, you would need the marriage paperwork, the divorce paperwork that says you still keep, like all the things. That's why we are saying, folks, that it is a hindrance for people to get, especially if you live in other states. Which is why we do not want this bill to pass. What I will say to you is, because you do not know if this bill is going to pass or not, start getting your damn documents together now. Make a plan and work that plan.
Exactly. We'll know what all is needed once this
Passport does work, Carol. Passport does work. All right. So you guys are very, very welcome. I will be back. But what I'm going to be watching the Linktree and be watching the Google Drive that is in the Linktree, because I'm putting more information in there for everyone. All right. So hopefully this was beneficial. We made it without like trolls today, which was great. And I'm going to go get my baby because she don't feel good. Okay.